Welcome to the Vernon Hills Update. The update offers information about a variety of village services. You'll meet a few of your neighbors and you'll find out about upcoming events. On today's show, we'll stop by the Vernon Hills Police Department to learn about the annual low-cost pet clinic coming up on Saturday, May 11th at the Public Works Department. We'll meet the 2018 Vernon Hills Queens to learn about some of the activities they have enjoyed this past year and learn about their recent success at the Lake County Pageant. We'll talk with the team of the Vernon Hills Pageant Directors to learn about the 2019 Vernon Hills Pageant, including how you can get involved. And we'll take a trip over to Aspen Drive Library to check out the library's expansion project, as well as their current activities and opportunities available through the Cook Memorial Public Library District. Thank you for tuning in to the Vernon Hills Update.
Hello from the Vernon Hills Police Department and Community Service Officer Lon Pulowski. We're here to tell you to grab your calendars, especially if you're a pet lover, and mark down May 11th, Saturday, May 11th. That is the annual low-cost pet clinic coming up, and it's been a hit every year.
Hi, Lynn. Hi, everybody. Yes, it is coming up this year. We're having record numbers every year. They're coming up. Lake County Animal Warden comes out and takes care of animals from 9 a.m. to noon. Dogs and cats, they give a vaccination for rabies or distemper, and they also offer microchipping.
Mm-hmm. And that's hosted by the Vernon Hills Police Department. You kind of work together with Lake County Animal Control, and it's sponsored over at the Vernon Hills Public Works on Greenleaf Drive. Very convenient over there, and we were talking before we started to roll tape that it is a busy day. There's a lot of people that show up, but you've got ways, so if you have a difficulty walking, you as a pet owner can have some help, or if you have an animal that might be a little rambunctious, you've got some help too.
Yes, Public Works building is very large, so we have capabilities. If you come in, if you're disabled, if you show a disabled handicap placard somewhere like that, let us know. We'll put you into a special area that's very close to the entrance, so you won't have to wait in line as hard. If you cannot walk or walk that well or stand in line, we can have the doctor come out and actually take care of it in the car. And also, if you have pets that are kind of incorrigible, you can wait in line. You can park in that same area, wait in line, and then the doctor will come out and take care of them there. That's for the pets that might, maybe nip at other animals or whatever.
I like that, incorrigible. I've got an incorrigible animal. Yeah. And then we talk about that too, that for the most part you ask certain things like leashes.
Yes, dogs all have to be on leashes. Cats have to be in carriers. There's no exceptions for any of that. If you think your dog might be a little nervous or might nip at somebody, there's little kids going to be there. You may want to put a muzzle on him. Mm-hmm. It's not cruel. It's just so it's protecting him.
Well, and we talk about it is a busy day because your numbers every year. You've been doing this for a few years now, and you get big numbers. Yeah,
6 or 7 years, I believe. This last year was our record. We had in the 3-hour time period, 293 dogs and 36 cats.
So that's a lot of people going through the paces, and it is a great deal. The prices are, especially if you can show that if your animal is spayed or neutered, and if you can show that, if you need to show that, you know what I'm saying. It's really inexpensive to get these services. So if you need, it's just a great way to go.
Yes, the costs are $25 for both rabies and distemper if your animal is spayed or neutered, which is a lot less than what you would get at any veterinarian.
Well, and when you talk about rabies vaccine, I mean, you're supposed to get rabies vaccine, so it helps you stay compliant. It helps keep us, the animal population and the human population healthy.
That's correct. It's required, and also the distemper too, because distemper is another one that some communities will want a vaccination for, but it's also very good for the animal's health.
When we talk about this too, keep in mind though, low cost, but it is a cash-based society over there. You don't have swiping ability or anything like that, so people need to bring cash for this.
That is correct. Cash only, no checks, no credit cards, nothing like that.
Okay. And there's also, you've got a group over there that will do nail clipping too for a donation.
Yeah, the 4-H Club is due to come out. They'll do for a $5 donation. They'll do some nail clipping for your animals.
Well, and when we talk about this is This is a great thing, and it doesn't have to be just for Vernon Hills. You don't have to show residency, and it's a Lake County thing, but you don't have to even be from Lake County. So if you know somebody who could use this sort of pet care, everybody's invited.
That's correct. They will only give you a Lake County tag. However, we do have a lot of people come from Wisconsin, from McHenry County, Cook County. You'll get the tag, and then you just go back to whatever county or place you go to and say, I got the vaccination. Vaccination's the same everywhere around, and they'll just a transfer fee of the tags.
Okay. That's a great service. It's a great service. And let's talk about how important microchipping is. That's one of those things that you guys use it a lot. You know, an animal slips out of a collar, you don't have any other identification. You can unite people quickly.
Right. The collar can always be lost. The microchip can never be lost. We pick up an animal, we can take them back to the station, scan them with this little scanner here, and find out who their owner might be.
Okay. And when we talk about that, it doesn't hurt it doesn't hurt the animal because it's a little injection like you would if you were having an inoculation, and the chip itself is tiny.
It's about the size of a grain of rice. It is very small. Goes into the fatty part behind their haunches, and they don't feel it at all.
And show us how, when you scan it, like what kind of information comes up.
Well, when we scan it, all we do is press a button, and it gives us a code number. We call the company, find out who that's registered to.
And that's it.
And that's it. We always tell people when you get this registered, or when you get the microchip in, you have to register yourself with a company, simply because until you register with a company, it's still registered with the Lake County Animal Warden.
Okay.
So that way, if we pick them up on a Friday night and they're not back until Monday, we're going to hold on to the animal till Monday.
Okay, so there's a step you have to do once you do this. Anybody does, whether they get the microchip here or wherever. You've got to make sure you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And these scanners work anywhere. This microchip that I got here, I actually bought off of eBay from Israel, and it works. You can get them from anywhere.
And the scanners are the same. So if you move, it isn't like it's a Lake County chip. It's a chip that's universal, and the scanners are universal. So you just got to keep your contact information.
That is correct.
Okay, excellent. And that cost, I mean, it's really cheap. $15 if you're.
$15. Yes.
That's incredible. And and I know you've got stories, multiple stories about how you pick up an animal and you can take them right home and you don't have to hold them.
Yes, and that's I get that all the time. Well, I'll scan them, and then I'm not even taking them, or not even bringing them back here. I'll just go straight to their house and bring it right back to them.
Those are the good stories we like to hear.
Those are the good stories. There's their website, the Home Again website, is who they use for the chipping. They actually have some really good stories about pets being returned. They also provide like insurance for when if your pet's on vacation and gets lost, and somehow it gets lost over there, you have to come back. They'll get the pet back to you, things like that.
Nice. So these are all things that pet lovers,
Yes.
it's a great resource. It's a great Lake County, it's a great Vernon Hills resource. Thank you for making sure it happens again.
Yes.
And if people want to know more, you can go on the Animal Control website, you can go on the VHPD website. Stop Officer Lon Pulowski here, he'll tell you all about it. But we'll see you on May 11th for that the 6th or 7th annual
Yes.
pet clinic.
Yes, we'll see you there. Be sure to show up. You can show up early if you'd like. Nobody will be turned away unless you come after 12.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
We're getting to be that time of year again where it's going to warm up and be nice weather, and then it's time for the Vernon Hills 2019 pageant. It's a great time of year. It's a lot going on. It's exciting, and these are the three people who can tell us about it, because these are the Vernon Hills. This is the Vernon Hills Royal Court. So you're almost done with a whole year of being in the Vernon Hills Queens with all the things you did. So we're here today to talk about what you've learned, what was fun, what it's like being in the pageant. Maybe you can tell other girls and other families what it's like to be in the pageant, and we're going to learn all about it today. So thank you very much for joining us, everyone, with Madeline, Jayla, and Haley, and they're each going to introduce themselves and tell us just a little bit before we talk about the pageant. So if you'd like to lead us off, Madeline, thank you.
Yeah, Of course. I'm Madeline Gutierrez, and I am Miss Vernon Hills 2018. And over the weekend, I was just crowned as Miss Lake County 2019.
That's huge.
Yes.
It's exciting.
It was so exciting. It was unbelievable.
Well, tell us about yourself then. You're from Vernon Hills, though. And did you go to Vernon Hills High School, or where did you
No,
go?
I actually went to Stevenson
You
High
were
School.
Stevenson? Okay, and where are you now?
So now I'm at Illinois Wesleyan University, and I'm a nursing major.
Oh, that's exciting. So freshman year.
Freshman year.
Excellent. So that's great. Now let's meet, are you ready, Jayla?
Yes.
Tell us about, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Jayla Wasco, and I am Little Miss Vernon Hills 2018. And I go to School of Hawthorne Dual Language.
Excellent. Who's your teacher?
Miss Naughton.
Is that second grade?
Yes.
So can you say hello in Spanish then?
Hola.
Awesome. Muy bien. Great. So how about Haley? Haley, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Haley Kalinowski, and I'm Junior Miss Vernon Hills 2018, and I was also crowned Junior Miss Lake County 2019. And I go to school at Hawthorne Middle School South in 7th grade.
Okay, so you're in 7th grade.
Yes.
Any activities you're doing, band or anything like
Yeah,
that?
I'm involved in band, cheerleading, and my school's theater.
Wow. So you can do all that and be a Vernon Hills
Yes.
queen and the Lake County queen on top of it. And we should also say, Jayla, you were the runner-up at the Lake County pageant too. So Vernon Hills was like super. You guys did super well. Was it fun at the pageant?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about the pageant. So how old are you then? How old are you? Are you 7?
Yes.
So when did you decide you wanted to try to be in a pageant? Did you know much about it?
Not a lot.
Yeah, but when you got there, you liked
yeah.
it? Okay. Well, and the coordinator, Miss Cassie, she's very friendly, so she shows you how to do everything, right? Had you been in a pageant before that?
No.
No, so that was your first one, and you won. Okay, Madeline, and you can give Madeline the mic now. So Madeline, did you have a little bit more experience in all this and the process and everything?
Yes, I did. I've actually done the pageant, the Vernon Hills pageant, for a long time. I mostly did it because it was great to develop different leadership skills through the pageant. And so this was my year, I guess.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, when you talk about leadership skills, can you explain like what you brought out of the pageant? You know,
Right.
you're very poised, and I'm sure you do very well in school, but how did that pageant kind of help with that?
Exactly. So I tell this to everybody I meet who's concerned about the Vernon Hills pageant or the Lake County pageant. Both of these different systems really empower young women. And I say that because you learn about interviewing skills because there's an interview process. And there's also a lot of public speaking that goes on stage for the speech that you give, which is memorized. And there's also a pop question as well. But aside from that, you're in an environment where everyone's supportive of you. You're developing all these new friendships, so we're lifelong friends now. And it's just a great experience. I can't say anything more.
Yeah. So you said you have to memorize a speech and be talking in front of everybody. But after the pageant too, you guys are always everywhere. You have to, be smiling and happy. Can you tell me a couple things you did this year that that you really enjoyed as being the queen? Like, can you think of anything you did this year that?
I can think of something.
Yeah, can you think of one?
Yeah, I like going to all the events
Okay.
with my queen sisters.
And they are like sisters
Yeah,
now because you all do everything together.
Mhm.
So you're never alone. You're always with them.
Yeah, and my favorite one was the fishing derby, which was our first event that we've attended as the Vernon Hills Queens. And it was my first time fishing, and we got to do it with the veterans, and it was really fun.
That's a nice one too. You meet a lot of very nice
Yeah.
people, don't you? Did you wear fancy outfits like this to go fishing derby?
No.
Oh, okay. Did you still wear your crown though?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like you guys are really good at wearing the crown. You're very good at that. So, Haley, can we ask Haley some questions too? So, You've been a little involved in all this for a little while. So what do you think about that experience, both the experience of going through the pageant and then just the things you've gotten to do this past year?
Well, yeah, I love the experience of being in pageants. We've gone to so many events and we've met so many people. I know that I'm friends with a lot of the junior misses around Lake County, and I'll be friends with them for a very long time.
Oh, that's really cool to think about.
Yeah.
So when you did the Lake County pageant, and you're meeting all these people, it is equally supportive then, I would say. If you're
Yes.
friends with all these people, instead of like, oh, I'm going to get you, I'm going to
Yeah,
beat
there's
you.
none of that. No.
Okay, so it's all positive then. So.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun backstage at the pageant because we were all talking and playing around, and we all were genuinely happy for each other when we did well in our speech and interview.
Oh, that's really cool. Well, and speaking of the other, because everybody has to like earn their way to the Lake County pageant, and I know you guys go to other parades, and people came to our 4th of July parade, so you meet people all year round, and not just at the pageant.
Yes.
So it's
Always meeting people. yeah.
always meeting people. So what if somebody wanted to go and try to be in a pageant? You wanted to, what would you say? Go for it?
Yeah, probably.
You'd say probably go for it?
Mhm.
What if they want to ask some questions? Could you talk to somebody about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you ever do this again? Because you're the little miss. You've got
Yeah.
chances for other times. Are you going to try it again sometime?
Yes.
Yes, that's very definite. I like that. Well, and then Madeline, for you, this is like, this is the pinnacle. And I'm sure there's going to be some emotions when you get to the end, when it's time to
Yes.
hand the crown off, because you are friends with all these girls, and it's been a good run, huh? So
It's been a great run. I really am gonna probably bawl my eyes out at the end of it. I'm gonna be so sad. But I mean, as you can see right now, we're just the best of friends. I mean, as we said before, we're sisters actually. So it's a great bond that you get through this experience, and you develop the leadership skills as well. It's a great system. I love it so much. So yeah, I am gonna be emotional for sure.
well, you guys have done so much great work. Let's count off some of the things you've done this year. You mentioned the fishing derby, which is for the veterans, and it's a great thing. Mr. Jim Heyer and his wife started that years ago, so that's an awesome thing. And I know I've seen you in like the 4th of July parade, but have you got a couple of other things to throw in there?
Yes, we've gone to a lot of events this year, which have been really fun, right? I think we did something that was actually outside of Lake County in Vernon Hills. We went downtown to Chicago for the Ronald McDonald House. That was so much fun. We got to help and make a meal for the residents there. A lot of the patients and their families are living in the hotel at the Ronald McDonald House, while their families might be in the Lurie Children's Hospital. So we were making breakfast for them, and we got to meet a lot of the patients, and we already agreed that we're going to do this every year with our families.
So you're going to do it regardless of if you have the crown on your head or
Oh, yeah.
not.
We'll do it next year and the year after.
This is
Yeah.
really good, isn't it? Can you think of another thing, Haley?
Sure. Well, we actually hosted at the Vernon Hills Golf Course a blanket making event where we had a bunch of Lake County queens come out, and we made tie blankets where we took 2 pieces of fleece and tied the ends to make blankets, and then we donated them all to the pad shelter at the end.
Oh, that's cool. So that is something you invited other queens. Again,
Yes.
you guys must all be getting along pretty good then. so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you think of one more thing? You had a good one. You had the good one right at the beginning, so don't worry. It isn't like a test. You can tell. Can you think of something? Do you like being in the parades?
Yes.
Okay.
I can think of the Disney parade when I forgot what, when I was Boo for Monsters Inc. And she was
Sully.
Sally and you, Mike. And we got to throw candy. And Madeline forgot her candy box, and I got to share. So.
Did you share a little?
I took a lot of my candy.
Yeah, I stole half of
She
Haley's.
had the best aim. She was throwing that.
So you're a super candy thrower. So you got to come back and be a queen because you're a super candy thrower. So.
Yeah.
Well, so I had asked Jayla if you would recommend this, and you said it's such a confidence booster. Can you give her the mic there, and she can explain that it's just, can you give encouragement to somebody who's thinking about that?
Yeah, so as I said before, it does help with public speaking a lot, but that's not to say that you need to come into this being a pro at public speaking or any of that, because all three of us have learned through this pageant. And I definitely remember being one of the first contestants when I was maybe 10 years old, and I just walked off the stage and I didn't know what to say. But it wasn't a scary experience because we're all in this to support each other, and we really want to see all the girls succeed and learn these new skills. So that was something very valuable.
Well, it sounds to me like you've had a wonderful year. Sounds like we have few tears when it's time to go, but you'll always be doing good things together because it sounds like you're a team that likes to do good things together and encourage other girls that want to do this. So if somebody wants to find out more, I know you guys, somebody could stop you on the street and they could talk to you, or they could talk to your parents, or they could talk to Miss Cassie. Miss Cassie can answer it all, but it sounds like a resounding yes to give it a try. So sounds good. Well, thank you so much for all you've done. Good luck in the future, and you'll always be queens. You know, you'll always be queens, even if somebody else has a new crown. Okay, so thank you, and congratulations on Miss Lake County too. So
Thank you so much.
well done. Thank you. Well, we're here with the directors of the Vernon Hills Pageant, or at least two of them. There's three of them. But you guys have been doing this for a long time. We're with Cassie Horvath, we're with Hannah Fry, and Michelle Newman is off camera somewhere thinking about how wonderful it is to be a director of the pageant. But thanks for taking the time. We just heard from the girls, and we hear how fun and how positive this experience is. You know firsthand because you've been through both ends of this.
I have, yes. I was junior Miss Vernon Hills way back in 2001 and Miss Vernon Hills in 2007 before we became directors.
Yeah. And so obviously this is important to you. I know your mom has said that's how she got involved because it was so important to you.
Yes, I dragged her into it a little bit. I was so excited to participate, and she, little did she know we'd be involved now 20-some years later.
20-some years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michelle Newman also has been involved because of her daughter being in the pageant and coming down the same path that we have.
There you go. Well, let's talk about the process of the pageant. The girls mentioned a little bit, there's an interview or there's a pop question. Can we talk a little bit about what the process looks like, especially for the different age groups?
Sure. So we do have 3 age categories. As you've seen our queens, we have Little Miss is ages 6 to 9, Junior is 10 to 15, and our Miss contestants are from 16 to 22. And so for each category, they have to do very similar things. So everyone has to go through an interview, which is very similar to a job interview, where they get to talk to the judges so that they can get to know them kind of one-on-one. Then they give an on-stage speech about various topics depending on the age category. And then they also have to do a pop question in a formal outfit. So pop question is really just an on-the-spot question that they get to answer in front of the audience.
Well, and it sounds like you'd have to know the ropes before you do it, but I keep hearing the girls saying, no, everybody shows me what to do, so when it's time for this, I understand the process.
Exactly. We have a contestant meeting, which will be in May, and we go over all the specifics of what you need to do. We have girls that come back year after year, and we have girls who are just starting out and wanting to see what it's all about.
And you're there to help them every step. And I know when you talked about, there's one where it's in a fancier dress. I've heard you in years past say, don't let the wardrobe keep you out.
You do not have to spend a lot of money for this because we all know somebody that has a gown. They were a confirmation gown, they went to prom, they went to homecoming. So there's lots of opportunity to borrow things from siblings and so on. So no, you do not have to spend a lot of money to be in the pageant.
Well, and because it seems like it is sometimes a family affair too. So you know a lot of people who've been through this. So you've got a lot of people can talk to learn more, or borrow clothes, or just get a little pep talk too.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think it's a great community that we've already established. We're always welcoming new folks to the pageant community as well.
Excellent. So we have learned here today that you don't have to have any experience, but people tend to do it over and over because they like it. So, I mean, that's something to be said for an event that you do every year.
They do. They enjoy it, and they come back. And if they are not competing, they come back to volunteer.
And you do have a lot of volunteers that you call.
Yes, we do need to call on many people to volunteer to make the pageant run on Pageant Day.
And thank you to you guys because you're volunteers here. So for 20-some years now, volunteers. So well done. Well, and when we talk about the particulars, you said there's the age groups, but there is an application people have to fill out. And can you give a little bit of information about that process?
This year, applicants can go online to VernonHillsPageant.com, fill out the application by Friday, May the 3rd, 5 p.m., and you'll have more information as far as the meeting date in May. We have a rehearsal day, there is a picture day, and then Pageant Day.
And when is Pageant Day?
It's June 22nd this year.
Okay, and
Sullivan Center.
1 p.m. at the Sullivan Center. I know the girls are excited about that. And that's where you said people come back and volunteer. They come back and cheer everybody on. You've got this year's Queens will say goodbye and new ones coming forward. So if people want to help you or if people want to learn more, what can they do?
Yeah, they can absolutely reach out to us. Our contact information is on the website at VernonHillsPageant.com.
And if they're a business in Vernon Hills and would like to make an in-kind contribution for the pageant, for the upcoming queens, for their pageant basket, we'd love to hear from you.
That's good advertising, too. It's like the goodie bag. Right?
It is, and they get their name in the program and everything.
Excellent. So if people want to know more, actually that Vernon Hills Pageant, if I got that right, that's a great website, and there's information about what the girls did. So as a parent, it's a great place to go on and understand what happens with the pageant and what the year is about too. So, well, thank you so much for taking the time. I hope everybody will reach out if they've got questions, and we'll see you for the next 20 years, and we'll just keep this going. All right.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
We are over at the Aspen Drive Library on kind of a wet March day as we tape this, but there's so much going on. There's always a lot going on at the Aspen Drive Library. It's a busy place, which is why you're seeing all this activity behind us. We're with David Archer, who's the director of the entire Cook Memorial Public Library District, as well as Brooke Bonson, who's the Aspen Drive Library Manager and Outreach Manager. And thanks for taking the time, and thanks for coming outside, because even though the weather's nicer today, it's kind of icky.
It's a little raw, but yeah, the rain is going to hold off. Yeah,
we're going to hold off. We're going to go fast. But that's one of the things your contractors are up against. It's either snow or ice or rain or whatever.
Right.
But let's talk about what's going on behind us. It's exciting.
It really is. Perhaps you can hear some noise behind us. Right now, we are at the early stages of our expansion project here at the Aspen Drive Library in Vernon Hills. We're adding 15,000 square feet of space, much needed space to our building. So behind us, construction workers are preparing the ground for the expansion, digging the basement, and then soon they'll be erecting the steel for the actual building itself. So it's a 15,000 square foot addition, 7,500 square feet basement, and a 7,500 square feet of main floor space. The project's also going to entail some modifications and improvements within our existing building as well.
Okay, so let's talk about that 1,500, 75 down, 75 up. 75 kind of for future.
Correct. The 7,500 square feet in the basement will serve as storage space for now. We do have collections that are out of sight even now at our current building in our compact shelving area. So the collections will go downstairs that will be accessible by staff to bring up to patrons as they need those titles. And so we keep some of our seasonal collections down there, things that we don't need to have out year round but are targeted for specific times in the year. So the basement will be used for future development. The board will determine at some point in the future how that space could be utilized to free up even more space to use. So The main floor, 7,500 square feet, will be dedicated to children's services. Anyone who's been in our current building certainly knows that our children's area is very well used, but it's also way too small. It's insufficient space. And especially given the floor plan and the design of the current building, it's just an open floor plan, which is beautiful in terms of being able to see outside and having a nice big room. But clearly, there needed to be a separate space for the kids and the families to enjoy.
Well, when we've talked about that before. The library isn't what the library used to be, where you quietly came in, took your book, and took it home. You've got so many things going on, and this lets you have that meditative spot, and then the more active spot for the things like the kids playing and the story time.
Exactly, and that's really a key component of this expansion and improvement in the existing building. So what our goal was, the board's goal in this project all along has been to provide a dedicated space for the children and their families. That's the area that you see behind us now. But in our existing space, we're going to be making some improvements, and probably the most significant of which is we're providing an area for our after-school kids. Aspen Drive serves a ton of kids. We're right in the middle of campus of Hawthorne schools, and we get great use by students after school. But one of the challenges of that is that they can be very active after school just by sheer numbers, and we're going to have a dedicated space right at the entry of our library. Will be a glassed-in area. It'll serve as what we're calling as a flexible space. It can serve as an area for kids to come after school, but it will also double as an area for our maker space, which is a collection of creative tools and devices and space in order for people to take advantage of some programs that we offer, such as 3D printing, vinyl cutting, some science classes that we offer, and computer classes and whatnot. That space will also be available for just general programming as well. The other thing that we're focusing on is providing enhanced quiet space for our patrons. So right now there is a quiet study area for patrons to use that's rather small, and it's in a rather cramped room. We are planning on taking the existing children's area, putting up some nice glass walls, and making that a very attractive, quiet area. It'll have a fireplace and will overlook the grounds here on the east and south side of the building. So we're really excited about that. We will also be having an area exclusively for our high school students. So high school students will get their own area just for them. It'll be next to the quiet area, and it'll be an area that's reserved for them, a study area with some computers as well. So those are some of the major improvements. And then just in general, a lot more seating, room for additional collections. We just need more elbow room here at the library.
Well, even parking, a few more parking spaces.
There'll be 21 additional parking spaces that will satisfy our parking needs, and we are actually partnering with Hawthorne 73 as they construct their new kindergarten building. We are going in on the construction for additional parking spaces here between the two facilities, so sharing some costs there.
Well, and when we talk about this project, the trustees were very careful with the spending projections. You could go bigger, you could go more, but you kept within a certain budget so that there were no new taxes.
Correct. We did not want to go to, the board did not wish to go to referendum. We, like other entities, have to live within our budget, and the amount of money for this project, $6.8 million, was really the amount that we could spend and still keep up our services at both of our locations here, Vernon Hills as well as Libertyville. So the $6.8 million will get us a great addition and with room to grow in the future as well. But certainly being good stewards of public monies allow us to continue our services without raising taxes.
There you go. That's always important. I mean, we want it all, but we want it within budget, so it's hard. We put a lot on you guys.
You know, it's a nice middle ground position to be in. So yeah.
There you go. Well, so that's nice to know. This is coming, and now these guys are moving fast, even with this rather not great weather for working. So all things, assuming they stay on schedule, you're hoping to have this open by July.
Well, the addition will be open in the summertime, and it won't be used exclusively for children's services until the fall. So what will happen is that the building behind us will be opening up in the summertime, and we'll have all of our services combined into that location while we undergo renovations in the existing building. So there'll be a several-month period between in August and September primarily, in which all services of the library will be in the new addition while we undergo some improvements in the existing building. And then come November, possibly into early December, we'll have the entire building open for everyone. So
We'll be able to come back when we get toward wintertime and see the whole shebang.
give you a VIP tour. Yeah.
When we talk about tour too, you've got stuff online, you've got pictures online, you've got videos online.
Absolutely. Go to CookLib, the library's website, cooklib.org/Aspen. There you'll see renderings of the building, of the various rooms within the project. There'll also be some facts regarding the costs, some of the specific improvements that I've just talked about. And also, interestingly, there'll be a time-lapse camera of the project. So at one of the nearby buildings here, we have installed a time-lapse camera of the construction progress. So visitors will be able to see a time-lapse video of the progress. So you don't have to, like me, you don't have to stand here at the fence and just look out. You can just go on our website and take a look. So that will be up soon.
It is cool. It is cool. There's lots of kids standing at the window watching. It's a great, and thank you, Brooke, for waiting so patiently as we go through this very historic time for the district. But we alluded to the fact the library is super busy. It's one of the highest used spaces, always has. Vernon Hills has always used our library, and you guys continue to provide programming for everybody. And I know one of the things going on in there now, we see, even though we're taping in March, you will still be able to see that District 73 art show and the beautiful art projects. That's one of those community partnerships that's just amazing.
Yes, the local schools, kindergarten through 8th grade, have provided some key art pieces from each art teacher and their classroom. And they stay up until mid-April, and parents and families and the kids can come by and see their artwork on the wall, and it makes the place look beautiful, and we're very proud of all the local talent.
It is a great partnership, David referred to the point of so well used after school, so well used by teachers who come and get resources. You've just got something for everybody out here from your connections to the community.
Yes, we do. Right now we have a story time going on, and when those young kids come out with their caregivers, they can play in a little construction-themed area we've set up specifically for this time. They can put on a hard hat and take a picture. So we have things from babies, programs for babies, all the way up to senior programming. We have outreach to the senior centers in the local areas. And the after-school kids are super excited that they're getting their own space next year. So we've started to talk it up, and it seems like they're happy.
Well, it's a great place for them to come. They can do their group projects together if they don't have good Wi-Fi at home. There's a lot of people that come because you can use Wi-Fi, you can use the computers, you can use everything. Do those group projects, do those reports that you need that. You've got all that here.
Yes, we have one of our most popular services, a printer. So if you don't have a printer at home, you can come to the library and pay for something to be printed. We also have tech aides that come 2 to 3 times a week that can help you with a difficult computer question or maybe help you learn how to do something new. So
I've heard people come over when they get a new phone and they have somebody help.
Yes, there's always people here that can help you with that. On the weekends we have teens that come, and they're specialized in technology, so they help out too.
And then any other programs? I know sometimes you've got, as we get to warmer weather, you've got everything from bus tours you can sign up to, for concerts, author visits, book clubs. It's just like you've got a ton.
Yes, we do, and I want to make a special announcement to check our schedule. This goes through May, and so we're fortunate to have a bunch of programs through May, June, and July. Now in the fall we might have to cut back a little bit because of space. So right now is the best time to come check us out.
So we can look at the book, we can go online because there's everything online. A lot of things are drop-in, but then some things, if you need a reservation for space, it shows you how to do all that online.
Yes, you can call us, you can reserve online, check our website, check our calendar.
Thank you for taking the time to stand out here on this rather blustery day, but at least we don't have snow up to our armpits. That's kind of nice. And everybody, we will keep watching how things are going. And if people have questions, go to the website or ask at the front desk or send an email.
Send an email. I'm at info at cooklib.org or darcher@cooklib.org. You can get to the director right away. Okay.
Ask your question, get it answered. Don't wonder. So
Exactly, yeah.
wonderful. Thank you very much. A very busy time, and we can't wait to see how this progresses. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Well, that wraps up this edition of the Vernon Hills Update. If you have comments or suggestions, please contact Mike Storto at 847-918-3560 or email mikes@vhills.org. Thank you for tuning in to the Vernon Hills Update.